Hello everyone! Today we're taking a tour of the first aid eye wash solutions market to understand the key differences between them. I often hear people at safety exhibitions saying, we already have eye wash solutions. Aside from the colour of the bottles, they're all the same anyway. And when asked what their bottles contain, they're often embarrassed to answer. To understand what properties your eye wash solution should have, we must first understand the risk it should address. Here, look. If you have eye wash, you are working with chemicals, irritants or corrosives. These can cause serious injury by reacting with human tissue. This is called a chemical burn or a chemical lesion. A chemical lesion is a destruction of the cells of our body, either on the skin or in the eye, due to a contact with a chemical product. 6 major families of chemicals can cause this lesion through a chemical reaction. These are the family of acids, bases, oxidizing agents, reducing agents, organic or inorganic solvents, and finally alkylating, chelating agents. Okay, but if my eye wash solution meets the standards, it'll be enough, right? Yes, but you have to realize that the standards are quite difficult to follow. Have a look. The EN 15154 standard breaks down the first aid eye wash devices into 2 families: eye wash stations with or without a water connection. The latter are therefore bottles containing an eye wash solution that may be different from water. The standard requires these alternative solutions to have evidence on their effectiveness, such as a protocol with an effectiveness equal to or greater than water, a spectrum of action, as well as the list of their incompatibilities. But does this mean that water-based solutions are the most effective? At least we can rinse as much as we want. You're certainly not the only one who thinks that. It is true that a water-connected solution can remove the product to allow for care, but is that sufficient? Let's see. Water eye wash solutions should have a flow rate of 6 litres of water per minute. The water quality should be that of drinking water, and the temperature should be between 15 degrees and 37 degrees. In addition, weekly regular tests are necessary to check the correct functioning of the installation and the quality of the water, which could suffer from the presence of bacteria, lime or rust. Deposits can form in the piping and prevent the proper functioning of the eye wash. The quality of the water is very often insufficient, and it happens that a film of microorganisms with bacteria or Legionella forms in the pipes. The user therefore runs a risk of bacteriological contamination. To comply with the recommendations of the standard, water eye washes must therefore correspond to a certain number of parameters, which are not easily applicable in companies. Yes, I understand. I guess a lot of companies are turning to sterile solutions. The standard 15154-4, paragraph 4.2.3, requires solutions not connected to the network to be sterile. Now, these solutions represent progress, but you will see that they must also meet the criteria of the standard to be compliant. What do you mean? Have a look. Eye wash solutions form the second family. They do not require a water connection. There are some with sterilized water. These are, however, of limited interest, since the effects of water are mainly the effects of rinsing and dilution. The quantity of water required for an imposed rinsing of a duration of 15 minutes must therefore be large, which is not the case with these eye washes. Other eye wash solutions contain saline solution. These solutions are a mixture of water and salts, mostly sodium chloride. A saline solution has an advantage over water. It is isotonic to blood. When using it, there is no risk of osmotic shock that could cause our cells to burst upon contact with the liquid. On the other hand, these eye washes have the same drawbacks as the bottles containing sterilized water. Their rinsing and diluting effects are limited because the quantity of liquid is too small to ensure the 15 minutes of washing required by the standard. All the products my colleague is talking about have a mechanical effect only. They rinse or dilute the chemical without having a decontaminating effect. And is this necessary? Of course, otherwise the chemical particles could continue to impact the affected tissue and the lesion could become more severe. And you have a solution for that? Indeed, there are eye wash solutions that have a decontaminating effect on chemicals. Two types of solutions exist: buffer solutions and amphoteric and chelating solutions. A buffer solution is a solution that maintains approximately the same pH despite the addition of small amounts of an acid or base. As a reminder, the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. Between 0 and 7, we are in the acidic range. Between 7 and 14, in the basic range. A range between 5.5 and 9 is considered by doctors as non-dangerous for our health. In the event of an acid or base splash, the goal of decontamination is to return to that range as quickly as possible. Buffer solutions were the first form of decontamination solutions, but their action is limited and depend on the buffer used. Their use requires a prolonged washing, just like with water, or requires precautionary measures because of their counterindications. These solutions, like the solutions we have already discussed, must also meet the 3 rules of the standard. In addition to proving an efficiency greater than or equal to that of water, it is therefore necessary to determine the spectrum of activity, either the acid or the base, and the list of incompatibilities, meaning no effect on oxidizing, reducing, solvent and other alkylating, chelating products. In addition, some buffer solutions are phosphate-based and can cause corneal calcification if used on an injured eye, a possible consequence depending on the time of intervention on a corrosive product. In the case of a Class 1 medical device such as this one, it is therefore recommended to check the restrictions of use before application. This restriction reduces the field of use and makes buffer solutions difficult to use. In addition, it's very difficult to know when the eye is damaged. This is why they are contraindicated by the medical profession. But is there no easy and reliable solution? Here, look. Finally, there is the amphoteric and chelating solution. In addition to having the mechanical effects of any liquid, such as the effect of rinsing or dilution, this solution stops the diffusion of the chemical products thanks to its hypertonicity. It also stops the aggressiveness of the 6 families of chemicals causing the chemical lesion. It is therefore fully polyvalent. The diphoterine solution is a Class 2A medical device that has proven its performance and safety through the biological evaluation in the framework of the ISO 10993 standard. It is certified annually by an independent notified body to keep its sales authorization. Not presenting any irritant, sensitizing or toxic character in accordance with the standard, its rinsing is therefore much safer. It is used on the skin and the eye, on healthy or injured tissues, immediately or in delayed use in the industrial and hospital environment. These advantageous packagings also allow ocular and cutaneous rinsing. You therefore have a unique protocol in the case of a chemical splash. Well, thank you for the useful information. If you want more information about the amphoteric and chelating diphoterine solution, you can go to www.prevor.com or contact us via email or phone. Our team remains 100% at your disposal. Thank you and see you again soon.